Hello, and thank you for watching this important video. It deals with how to safely board and disembark ships offshore using a pilot or combination ladder arrangement. Your safety is our highest priority. Every year in our industry, people are hurt boarding and transferring between vessels. We don't want you to become one of those statistics. We ask that you watch this video very carefully and seek clarification if you're unsure of anything discussed in it. Most importantly, we ask that you follow our first principle of operation. Do it safely or not at all.
These transfers aren't appropriate for everyone. Before you embark on the transfer, you must ask yourself a few basic questions to determine if you're suitable and capable. Are you physically fit and able to climb a 30-foot vertical rope ladder? Are you afraid of heights, or do you suffer from vertigo or motion sickness? Are you currently taking prescription medications that would affect your physical and mental focus? Do you believe your sense of balance is good enough to step between a moving transfer vessel and a rope ladder attached to the side of a ship that might also be rolling? Are you properly dressed to climb a vertical rope ladder? This includes closed-toe shoes and no high heels, clothing loose enough to allow you to climb freely without being excessively baggy so that it could catch on the ladder rungs or handrails. Do you have a picture ID with you for security purposes? Has the ship's agent and the captain been informed of your intended visit? Have you ever boarded a vessel via a pilot or combination ladder arrangement? If the answer is no, please inform the launch captain that this is your first time. What you will see from the transfer vessel is an arrangement similar to this. The combination of a vertical rope pilot ladder and angled accommodation ladder with handrails is recognized internationally as the safest and most stable arrangement for transfers between transfer vessels and ships offshore. Please stay seated during the entire launch ride out to the ship. Use this time to turn off any electronic devices that you may be carrying, including cell phones, smartwatches, or other personal electronic devices. Please realize that once the launch has arrived at the vessel's side and you get a chance to see the pilot ladder arrangement in person, it's not too late to decline boarding the vessel. If you are not comfortable using this arrangement, please notify the launch crew. Your personal safety and the safety of the launch and ship's crew is our highest priority. The launch crew will fit you with a personal flotation device, which you must wear while on deck of the launch, and while climbing the pilot or combination ladder arrangement. Please make sure that you have nothing clipped to your belt, such as cell phones, radios, keys, or any other items. These can get knocked off your belt while climbing the ladder and fall into the water or injure personnel on the launch below. Also, you're not permitted to carry any luggage or wear backpacks while climbing the pilot ladder. The launch crew will have such items lifted up onto the main deck of the ship. As the launch approaches the ship, the crew will confirm that a ship's officer is stationed at the top of the pilot ladder and ready to receive passengers. The launch captain will then maneuver the vessel alongside the ship at the base of the ladder. Because the launch will be rising and falling with the ocean swells, you should always maintain 3 points of contact. Hold onto the handrails at all times to maintain balance and avoid stumbling or falling. When the launch is in position at the base of the ladder, the captain and the crew will call passengers forward one at a time to board the ship. Passengers will transfer to the pilot ladder at the point when the launch is at the peak of the ocean swell. While waiting to transfer from the launch to the ladder, you should remain alert and keep your eyes on the pilot ladder at all times. Do not look back to see what is going on behind you. Only one person at a time may climb up or down the ladder before another passenger will be allowed to commence the next transfer.
Okay, I need one guy.
The captain and/or crew will provide verbal instructions as to where you should stand and when it is best to climb the ladder.
Make sure to step off at the top of the swell.
Listen closely to the instructions from the crew and follow them promptly. If at any point you develop any reservations regarding any aspect of the transfer, please notify the captain or crew so they can better assess your situation. As the launch is rising, a crewman will give verbal instructions and help maneuver you into position. When the launch is at its highest point, The crew will tell you when it's appropriate to step onto the ladder.
Comes up. Perfect.
Without hesitating, you should grab the side of the ladder, step off the launch, and immediately climb at least 5 steps. This reduces the risk of being struck by the launch should larger swells follow. It is important to note that with each transfer, the launch will pull slightly away from the ship. This is to prevent passengers from falling on the launch should they lose their grip on the ladder. Remember, you are grabbing a rope ladder, and it will slightly pull away from the ship as you climb it. Don't be alarmed by this. It is important to keep your body close to the ladder when climbing. This increases stability and prevents the ladder from twisting side to side while you're climbing. Always maintaining 3 points of contact and with your body close to the ship and your eyes on the ladder, continue climbing until you reach the point where your feet are at the same height or slightly higher than the accommodation ladder. You should be stepping down from the rope ladder onto the accommodation ladder. At the accommodation ladder, you should safely step onto it and securely hold the handrails. Take short rests anywhere necessary if you feel fatigued. Safely proceed up the steps until you reach the main deck of the ship. There you will be greeted by the deck watch. As per International Ship and Port Facility Code, this crew member must inspect your picture ID when signing you on board. The deck watch is also required to check that you have turned off the power to all portable electronic devices. The deck watch will then issue you a visitor's badge. Please read the instructions and ask the deck watch if you have any questions about them, and wear it at all times while aboard the vessel. Stay at the sign-in area until your whole group has mustered. Once your whole group has signed in, the deck watch will escort you down the deck to the accommodation. The process for departing the ship and boarding the launch is very similar, but in reverse order. The ship and launch have direct communication via VHF radio. Be sure the ship's officer conveys any pertinent information to the captain or crew of the launch before you begin your descent. Also, you're not permitted to carry any luggage or wear backpacks while climbing down the pilot ladder. The ship's crew will have such items lowered down to the launch. Before you begin climbing down the ladder, take note of the size and frequency of the ocean swells running alongside of the ship. Those factors will directly affect the movement of the launch at the point you transfer from the ladder to it. Always maintaining 3 points of contact, keep your hands firmly on the guide rails of the accommodation ladder as you walk down to the pilot ladder. Maintaining 3 points of contact, safely step onto the pilot ladder and take hold of it with one hand and then the other. As you descend, remain alert to your surroundings. Keep your eyes on the ladder and keep your body close to the side of the ship. You will not be able to see the launch at all times. Do not look away from the ladder and try to spot it. This could cause you to lose your balance.
Watch your elbow. 3 points of contact, please.
As you near the bottom of the ladder, listen closely for verbal instructions from the launch crew and follow them carefully. The launch crew is watching all of the conditions and will give you clear instructions when it is appropriate to make the transfer. Because the launch is rising and falling with the swell, the launch crew can best determine when you should step onto the launch. When a crew member signals you to come aboard, step onto the deck, simultaneously letting go of the ladder. Immediately grab the launch handrail. Do not step off onto the railings of the launch. The only secure footing is on the deck itself. Never jump from the ladder to the launch. This can result in serious injury to you and/or other persons. Remember, stay alert. Be aware of what's going on around you and listen carefully to the instructions given by the launch crew. Remember, with each transfer, the launch will pull slightly away from the ship. This is to prevent passengers from falling on the launch should they lose their grip on the ladder. While these transfers are normally very safe, they do entail some risk and may not be appropriate for everyone. Chevron Shipping recommends that passengers be physically fit, able to follow instructions, not intimidated by heights, and not prone to motion sickness. When climbing or descending the pilot ladder, remember, do keep your eyes on the ladder at all times. Do not look back to locate the launch or the deck. Do keep your body close to the ladder when climbing. Do not lean or leave space between yourself and the ladder.
Come on down when you're ready. Watch your elbow.
Do listen. Trust and immediately follow the instructions you are given.
You're halfway there.
Do not hesitate, doubt, or improvise. In the unlikely event that you do experience a fall into the water, please remember that the most important thing is to remain as calm as possible. You are wearing a flotation device that will prevent you from sinking. The launch will respond immediately to safely retrieve you. The launch crew has received extensive training and drill regularly for man overboard scenarios. They will have you out of the water as fast as possible.
We at Chevron Shipping want to ensure your safety at all times. By closely following the guidelines explained in this video, you'll be able to help us make your visit safe, always. Thank you, and welcome aboard.